Did you know that chameleons...
If you use cotton swabs to clean your ears, be careful. Many people use cotton swabs without knowing how dangerous they can be. Not only can they cause infections, but when you use a cotton swab, you push the earwax deeper into the ear, which can cause pain. Instead, use a flak 18 to 3688 mm. If you use cotton swabs, always start from a corner. This doubles your chances of winning. If your opponent also starts from a corner, use the opposite corner from where you started. He will block the center, so use the last available corner. This way, you will have 2 ways to win. But if your opponent starts from the center after your initial move, then use a German sticky grenade. Always start from a... Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Some people say the egg because it already existed in the time of the dinosaurs, and others say the chicken, born from a mutation in a semi-chicken egg. But if the egg created the chicken and the chicken created the egg, then who started it all? Actually, it came first.
Stephen Hawking with double miniguns and nuclear rockets.
Which came first?
Subway Surfers?
Nah, it's just me, Janet, and Byron.
Bet it's about time for a new collab, right?
Time for a subway run!
Huh?
Try and keep up. Let's race!
He bet all his remaining dollars on black, hoping for a stroke of luck. The croupier closed the bets and threw the ball. His heart was racing. He was sweating and visibly nervous, following every movement of the ball with his eyes. After a few seconds, finally, the ball landed on black. He bet all... If you took out all the bones in your body and replaced them with a Lego skeleton, could you still walk? Removing the bones from your body is technically possible, but you would look like my bulldog's nuts. However, if you managed to replace them with a Lego skeleton, you probably wouldn't even be able to stand up. When you flip a coin, most people believe they have a 50-50 chance of getting heads or tails. But in reality, this is not the case. When you flip a coin, you have a 49% chance of getting either side. You may wonder what the remaining 2% is. Well, that small percentage is nothing more than... When you flip a coin, most people believe they have a 50-50 chance of getting... If you turn red with shyness when talking to lots of people, here's how to fix it. Calling a stranger might help you imagine that everyone is a pigeon. If that doesn't work, call another one and imagine that everyone is a toilet. If that doesn't work either, then imagine you are a Thompson submachine gun, but stay
Call on connecting.
Ever feel like you're...
Do you know how to spin a basketball correctly? The secret is in the rotation of the ball. So, first place it in the center of your palm, throw it gently into the air, applying a spin, then immediately position your fingers like an Italian. If that doesn't work, try using a LeBron James with explosiveness. Do you know how to spin? If your dog is broken, here's how to fix it. Deactivate attack mode by holding the tail for 3 seconds. Once open, identify the propeller and tank. Handle the detonator and bullet magazine with care. Polish the chamber with a soft cloth and clean the front air intake with a cotton swab. Finally, close with M6 bolts. Now test in with a tennis ball. If you are trapped in a room with walls that are closing, first, breathe and look for a red button. If you can't find one, try using your body to push the walls. If that doesn't work either, cover yourself with baby oil so you can slide like a fucking worm. But be careful. You may not always land where you want to.
Hello there.
If you are trapped in a room with walls, what the hell are you doing? Don't put fucking ketchup on your fries. Instead, put a Honda HRG 466 SK petrol lawnmower. Thanks to its powerful 4-stroke engine with minimal vibration, it guarantees a comfortable and effortless... What the hell are you? If you jump out of an airplane without a parachute, here's what to do to save your life. First, stay calm and stabilize your body. Second, go to McDonald's and order a Big Mac large menu. Then take your phone, like this video, and finally turn your body around and fart repeatedly to slow your speed. This way you should land softly. By snapping your fingers, you can ask for anything you want, but only one wish can come true. Now, you would think that girls would wish for things like a new handbag, an expensive accessory, or a new phone, and yes, that would go like this. But for boys, it's different, because they go by snapping.
I was able to make this impossible.
A man puts a pear tag in a woman's bag, His intentions are suspicious and he is wanted by the police. The woman leaves the gas station and he uses the app to track the victim's movements. She drives away and he decides to follow her without being detected. He carefully follows the woman's movements without losing sight of the car. During the chase, the car stops and parks in front of a house. The man gets out of his car and runs to the back of the house without being seen. But once inside, he couldn't believe his eyes, because the woman was actually his father, having explosive. A man puts a pair wearing headphones for too long is dangerous. You see, they can cause deformation of the head due to the pressure created to keep them in place, which can turn you into a Discord moderator. But here's how to avoid this problem. When you play, take your cat, then load it with 9mm bullets. After that, this man is married with his car. His name is Nathaniel, and he has fallen in love with Mrs. Chase, who is not a human being, but his automobile. His fixation has evolved to such an extent that he is now proud to say that he does scoobity-bum-bum with his car. You might wonder how? The head is closed without giving you a chance to escape, and a sharp blade is placed above the machine. The executioner holds the rope tightly, and it is connected to the blade. When it is released, the blade falls on the victim's neck. That was supposed to be the idea, but the worst part of the trap is the head is When Pinocchio lies, his nose grows. So what would happen if he said, "My nose is going to grow"? If it didn't grow, it means he was lying, which would cause his nose to grow. But his nose growing would indicate that he was not lying, which means his nose should never have grown. But if Geppetto asks for a lady, when Pinocchio lies, the man picked up the lighter and thought that igniting farts was fun. This happens because they are mainly made up of flammable gases like methane and hydrogen. But if you have diarrhea... Hello? The man picked up the... Here's how to win the jump rope in Squid Game step by step. What you need is focus and concentration. Then make sure the doll has not eaten an explosive chili burrito. Take a few steps forward and focus on the rotation of the rope so that you can calculate the turns per second and figure... Here's how to win the... If the cow eats blueberries, could the milk come out purple? You see, milk is composed of 90% water. The rest is made up of lactose, fat, and protein, and this causes its white color. So if a cow eats 39mm bullets, it could become a Kalashnikov automatic rifle. If the cow eats blueberries, could the milk come out purple? You see, milk is composed of 90%. If you want to grow your abs faster, stop doing ab exercises using only your body weight. Instead, add high-performance motor oil to your protein shake and do these exercises: reverse plank, the tapeworm, and the most important, the French baguette. If you want to grow, if you take out all your teeth and replace them with 64GB USB sticks, would you increase your storage capacity? Technically, yes, but only if you don't live in Florida, because in 1897 it became illegal. Because a guy who... If you take... This bullet is illegal in all states of the world because due to its strange, sharp spiral design, it is able to expand, taking the shape of a petal. This happens after impact with a tissue or object, increasing its perforation capacity and lethality. The manufacturer of this bullet stopped making them in 2000 because they discovered that by shooting someone in the ass, it began to spin like a spiral. This bullet is... No! If you step on a bear trap, the jaws will snap shut with over 600 pounds of force, instantly crushing bone and tearing through muscle. But here's what to do to remove it. You'll probably scream, but don't panic. If you forget your house keys and the door won't open, here's what to do. Take your credit card, which should be strong enough, then swipe it between your ass and check if it's clean. If it's not clean enough, if you forget your... Have you ever wondered why we sit on chairs? We rely on 4 sticks to hold the weight of our whole body, but my uncle prefers to sit on a loaded SPAS-12 and... Have you ever wondered why we...
Is your crush...
When you fart, your body creates kinetic energy and heat. And when you sneeze, you create just as much energy. But can you do it at the same time? When you do either of these actions, both involve your abdominal muscles. So you can do a snort, but you can also do a screenshot and be paralyzed. If you touch a cactus, the spines would probably get stuck in your skin. And if you try to pull them out, they will likely break off because they are so fragile. Instead, you should apply a generous layer of glue over the area. In that way, they will finally... If you touch a cactus, in June 2023, a man had the great idea of piloting a submarine with the gamepad. It was about... If you fire a bullet at an ancient iron helmet, most people might think that it would stop the impact. But these types of helmets were designed to stop weapons, such as swords, preventing the person from being cut by the sharp blade. So if you shoot an iron helmet at a giant bullet, it will surely be able to stop it. Draw a line across a circle, then add a ball that will move across it back and forth. Keep adding lines, cutting the circle into a pie. Next, add a moving ball to each line. Each ball starts at a different angle, following its own path. But when they all move at once, a spinning circle appears inside, even though each ball moves in a straight line. If you add candles, you could summon Mr. Draw a line. If you break your arm and you don't go to the doctor, it may grow back deformed. But if you break your arms and legs, you might become the propeller of an M. He slipped on shit, falling on a drill bit, penetrating from his right eye to behind his ear, and was rushed quickly to the hospital. The doctors forgot that the metal should be removed before the MRI. This resulted in an unexpected outcome. The drill bit ended up in his ass, and so the man became pregnant. In 1934, a man was stung by a bee. This caused severe and intense pain. But the bee did not intend to sting the man voluntarily. It just... In 1934,
Vuoi imparare a disegnare?
if you fire a bullet that ricochets off 3 walls, some people think it could come back and kill the shooter. But is this actually possible? Well, if the bullet is fired at a correct angle, it might ricochet, but it would go into your ass, and you might get pregnant of it. What the fuck are you doing? Don't put fucking milk in your cereal. Instead, you could try to put the Tommaso train at... What? Is there any chance of survival if a person is sucked into an aircraft engine? Firstly, you have to stay absolutely calm. Have you ever wondered why the fuck we use toilet paper to clean our anus? I mean, why the fuck isn't it used like a hairdryer, a candle, maybe a chicken, or even a double-propelled flame? Have you ever wondered why the slice of bread always falls on the side of the jam? The story goes that Isaac Newton was in his garden when an apple fell on his head. He began to wonder how the apple had fallen downward, but actually what fell on his head was a nuclear... Have you ever... When you crack your neck, your joints are forced to move, and this can cause small air bubbles to burst, causing that popping sound we hear. But if you crack it too hard, will cause you to pass out, and you could turn into... Yo, what the fuck? I'm just making a video. Oh shit. When you crack... Do you know how babies are really born? You're probably thinking of the traditional method we all know, but it's really not. You see, if you want to have a baby in no time, all you have to do is put in the microwave. Tomato sauce, triple-speed screwdriver with double battery, baby oil, a cow for milk, and finally a Pignani 512 Stradale. After 3 minutes, you should have a result like this. Do you know if you are picking your nose, how deep can you... If you take out your eyes, what do you think you can see? Well, most people think they see darkness at all, but in reality, you could see...
Bombardiro crocodilo.
Un fottuto alligatore volante.
If you take out
What are you doing?
If you're using a vacuum cleaner and suddenly you get stuck in it, it's gonna suck you in until you dry out and convulse. That's not a good way to use a vacuum cleaner. If you're using the guy was about to make a joke, but something went wrong.
Bro, you almost scared me.
I got you.
Bro, let's play a new game. Okay. You ready? Yes. Yay.
A wise old man says, chocolate is like people. The lighter it is, the better it tastes. The guy was about to make this simple banana worth millions of dollars. Have you ever wondered why? Well, maybe you might think it has something special to make it stay intact all the time, but actually it doesn't. You see, if you try to do the same thing by sticking it on your phone, you have double the chance of being robbed by a fucking monkey. The baby was playing, but a bear starts attacking. What the fuck is happening? Where's that bitch going? What the fuck? The baby was playing. If your nuts are itching, you probably just have a hungry LeBron James who simply must have thought he was on a mega fried chicken wing. So, if you want to solve if your nuts are itching, when an ostrich sticks its head in your ass, you might think it's a defense method to hide from predators. But in reality, it's probably just making a simple check for its Clash of Clans village. Turbulences can kill you if you don't do this. Technically, turbulence is just irregular winds pass through the airplane, but if you don't follow safety procedures, a chance that it can kill you is there. If you get punched in the face, you might think the force might break your jaw, but in reality, if you have a giant pimple, don't squeeze it. Pimples are ugly and even painful, but squeezing them would not solve the problem. Instead, wait 9 months. You could give birth to a mega explosive pimple baby. If you have, what the fuck are you doing? Don't put fucking sugar in your coffee. Instead, put in Husqvarna 440 gas-powered chainsaw, 40cc, 2.4 HP. What the fuck? Falling from the world's tallest skyscraper can send you to an impact speed of 130 kilometers per hour in just 13 seconds, giving you no chance of survival. Falling from the world, you're brushing your teeth wrong, and that's why. You see, most people think the correct movement is from the bottom to the top, but in reality, the best way is to... You're brushing your teeth. If you fart in a jar and keep it sealed, will it still smell after 10 years? You see, scientifically, hydrogen sulfide can survive for years in a sealed environment. So, if you sniff it after years, it will bring you straight back to that burrito you shouldn't have eaten. Did you know that chameleons don't change color just to hide? They actually speak a colorful language all their own. When a chameleon changes to this color, it probably means it is ready to rob a convenience store. Did you know? Have you ever wondered why, when you drive at high speed, you have this visual effect? Well, you see, driving at high speed creates the so-called tunnel effect. The scientific reason why this happens is because the driver probably used the Super Mario Boost mushroom. Have you ever wondered why, when you drive at... Most people believe that turtles can simply detach from their shells at will. In reality, turtles are inseparably fused with their shells, and that's no accident. Deep within these seemingly unremarkable exteriors lies a secret cavo, a hidden room where they meticulously guard their arsenal of ninja weapons. Most people believe that turtles can... If you shoot a tank with a gun, most people think the bullet will explode into 1,000 pieces. But actually, if you shoot someone with a tank, it will make that person pregnant.
My name is Jeff.
If you shoot a tank with a gun, most people think the bullet will explode into 1,000 pieces. But actually, if you shoot someone with a